All right, Mark, here are the cars. This is the four-seater, number 428. I got the Willwood brakes as well as the iBox springs. We've already done the break-in kit service on the car. This car has, I think, maybe 200 miles on it. Let's check. So upgraded seats, pumpers, front and rear. I have all the hoses for those. I have the, oh, there you go, 232 miles. I also have the communication cords for in there as well. This has got the roof rack, lights. I also have the antenna whips, dual extinguishers. Those guys still owe me the crescent box, which I need to get. It's got the bumpers. What else? I can get you the build sheet as well. That's not an actual working display on that side. And no, it doesn't have a radio in it either. We added the jack mounts on there. It has the full skid plate. That's it.
Key is basically like your automotive. You got like, this is like a hazard button all the way at the top. Just kind of sets the lights off. If you hit it, you'll see it unlock and it'll turn them off.
Okay.
If you want to lock the ECU, so right now it's unlocked. So if you hit the button, everything turns on. You can start the car.
Okay.
If you want to lock the ECU, you just hit the center button until the lights flicker.
Yeah.
Now it's locked.
No one can
fuck with it.
Got
so
it.
Sometimes when you store the key away from the vehicle for long periods of time, it auto locks. So
Okay.
if you ever go into your garage after sitting for a week or two and it doesn't start, just hit the unlock button. Everything's on.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, just keep that in mind because sometimes it will auto lock. And that's more of a security feature because obviously this is like a new car to where, you know, if you were standing where Matt's at over here,
Yeah.
someone could jump in your car and take off.
Oh.
Like it'll start.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna walk too far away, lock the ECU, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, some guys are leaving the keys in the car. Obviously, that's a risk you take. I know I've always left my razor key in the ignition everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Never pull it out. So
Yeah.
that's up to you how you want to do that. If you do store it in the car, I would store it somewhere where it's not going to fall out. So that way you never lose it. Because if you lose it, as long as it's laying on the ground, you'll be able to drive it away once.
Right.
But just don't turn it off if you ever can't find it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So get back to camp. Don't turn it off. Get out.
Yeah. Park it in the trailer.
Put it in the trailer. Lock everything down, and then you're done. And when you get home, you have to figure out a way to get it out. But yeah, other than that, you're good.
Okay.
Inside of the car, if you want to take a seat, I kind of explained the dash and the switches and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I like that third dash that Todd's had in the video.
Yeah. So all your light switches are here. Headlights are here. So this is your running light, low beam, high beam. This is going to be a roof light bar. This will be front light bar. These are your mirror lights if you ever add them, or an A-pillar light. There's a company out there that does A-pillar lights. So you have little brackets you could buy. This is the rear chase bar, but it also turns on rock lights that you have. And it also turns on your whips. Good night. So whips have their own remote in the box.
Okay.
You can turn them off individually once the switch is on. The rear chase bar, I'll show you how to turn that off once the switch is on.
Okay.
And then once you download the app for the rock lights, that will also have the option to turn those lights on and change color within the app.
Okay.
So that app's called Happy Lighting.
Got
I'll
it.
actually have Mike send me the scanned code. He's got a QR code that you can scan that goes right to the app. That'll help out with that. So that way you can do that. Obviously, every car is pre-wired for a winch, because I don't believe you did the winch, did you?
No.
Okay. So if you ever wanted to add the winch, it's already pre-wired for it. If you wanted to convert that switch to something else, obviously you can do that as well. The switch next to it is your fresh air system. So that's the main
Pumper.
power for the fresh air. And then on the fresh air behind you, it does have its own switch on the unit to be able to turn the switch on and off.
Okay.
Switch next to it is your seat heaters.
Okay.
So you did do seat heaters, correct?
Yeah.
So each seat underneath the cushion has its own plug as well. So that's main power on. So then that way, if like, let's say you don't want your seat heater on, but the passenger does, you can get in your underneath your cushion, hit the switch, turn yours off, but theirs will stay on.
Okay.
While that switch is on. And then obviously the far right one is just hazards. So hazard signals if you need them in the desert.
Is this a push to talk?
That's push to talk for passenger, push to talk for driver on the left side.
Okay.
You do need to get your own comm cables to go from your helmet to the faceplate.
To this plate here.
Yeah, because the plug is actually right here. So
Okay.
you just do a coiled one up to your helmet.
Okay.
You just plug in there. Since you're going to Hammers, and OPCI's got a trailer out there, so you could probably buy them right then and there. The back seats are not wired, so you do have to wire those individually.
Okay.
And you don't get the cables to do that, so however you want to wire it in, you'll have to buy the cables or however you want to do it.
Okay. And that, I'd have to wire it in from here back
Yes,
to there. Got
back
it.
down the center console, yes.
Yep.
Shifter is just your standard ratchet style shifter. You just pull it back, let it go. That's
Okay.
first gear. If you pull it back again, it goes second, and then one more goes to third, and then push it forward, and that goes all the way back. You're in second. It's telling you right there. First, and then one more will be neutral, then reverse, and then park.
Okay.
So
That
simple
linkage
on
is
the
pretty
shifter.
nice.
Yeah. The four-wheel drive, you're always going to want to run it four-wheel drive in the dirt.
Yep.
In order to get it into four-wheel drive, the car does need to be rolling.
Right.
Sometimes if while you're rolling it doesn't want to go into gear, swerve back and forth so it helps line up the dog gears inside the transmission of the diff or front diff, and then it'll go into gear. When it goes into four-wheel drive, you'll get the circle right up top just like the bottom. If you pull it one more lever back, it's going to lock the front diff, so that'll put an X inside the circle up front, and that's the way you know your front diff is fully locked.
Okay. So
same thing-
that right now the first one's an open diff and the second one's your locked
Yeah.
for
Right now, yeah, your two-wheel drive only, then your limited slip four-wheel drive, and then your four-wheel drive locked once
Okay.
you pull in the lock position.
Any requirements or things I should think about when I'm fully locked? I mean, any speed requirement? I mean, that's more like a rock
when you're
crawling.
when you're switching in and out of gears, I would probably do less than 5 miles an hour.
Okay.
If you're already locked and you're trying to go up an obstacle, I mean, obviously, if you
Get
have
it
it in
done.
low gear,
Yeah.
you can run it all the way up till it hits rev limiter. You
Okay.
know, I mean, whatever it takes to get you over the obstacle and everything else. So there's no like restricted speed in that aspect. It's just whatever the gear is going to do. So low gear probably would top out the RPM at around 45 if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Second gear will run up to 85 or 90. So,
Okay.
Third gear will still be 90. It just reduces the RPM.
Okay.
So
And then belt temp sensors in here.
yes. So if you hit the top right corner button up in there, you can start scrolling through the dash. That's the most popular one right there.
Okay.
Next one, that's how you mirror your phone. So scan the QR code. So that does it horizontally. And then if you go to the next one, it goes vertically.
Got it.
And then the next one, I believe, is front camera. Next one's rear camera. Next one's both cameras. And then goes to your service screen, which will eventually will have that up to where it'll come up with different notifications for service.
Okay.
And the next one is like an information page. That'll give you all the information you need and everything of any upcoming things that we're doing or any special things like that. And then the next page is back to the front.
Got it.
So depending on where you like it, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it at that. I like
Yeah.
that. It's got a little
Most
bit.
guys seem to be liking that one because you have your oil temp, your water temp, engine temp, that oil pressure. You got your battery voltage, your boost. So you got all that right there.
Is there a master shut off? Like
No,
if I...
for the battery, no. Not
Okay.
like a master disconnect, no.
Okay.
I'm probably going to wire one into my car for storage purposes and stuff. It does have in the back corner a spot to add a trickle charger if you would prefer to do that.
Okay.
Instead of having a master switch.
Where's that? Can you show me
Yep.
that? So can you walk me through the break-in? What do
So
I...
braking on the engine, there's
Yeah.
really nothing you have to do braking on the engine. Where you're really going to want to spend the time is braking in the belts. So
Yes.
the belt that comes on the car, to be honest, isn't the greatest belt. So what I usually tell people is go do 3 heat cycles with that belt, pull it off, put your new CVT belt on from your braking kit, because that's a Gates belt, better belt. Put that on, do 3 more heat cycles on that belt, and then now you're heat cycling the motor 3 times each section, so 6 times a heat cycle. And then you should be able to go drive the car however you want.
Okay.
You know, even breaking in the belt on the heat cycle, like I usually tell people, drive it however you want. Try not to just full floor it, just hold it pinned for the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just drive it like we do on a normal trail ride. Up and down in the RPM, up and down mile an hour, get it through, drive about 10 minutes, then park it for 30 minutes, let it cool all the way down, go do another 10-minute drive.
3 heat cycles per belt.
2 to 3 heat cycles is what I like to do.
Okay.
Some guys do other things. I've mentioned to people, some guys like to run the belts before they put them on in the dishwasher, because that heat cycles them.
Yeah.
Some guys have been doing, you know, pots of water, they get it all boiling, they put the belt in and turn the heat off and let it gradually boil, cool.
Yeah.
They'll heat cycle it that way. So there's a couple of different
I haven't
ways.
heard the dishwasher one in a while. I heard that in Mexico by
So I mean, I've tried it all, and I don't think one works better than the other.
Okay.
I think if you're in a hurry and you don't want to deal with driving 10, waiting for 2030, driving 10, waiting for 2030, to maybe doing 1 or 2 in the dishwasher would be good. And then when you finally put it on, then just do 1 heat cycle on the car.
Okay.
And then probably call it good. So you could do that. Obviously, this belt's already on the car.
Yeah.
So unless you want to pull it off when you get home and do it.
I'll probably pull this one off. And, well, I'll do it a couple times and then
But
just
if
keep
you're
this
gonna
as a
drive
spare.
Hammers,
Yeah.
I'd say heat cycle this one, like I told you, 2 to 3 times. Then grab the spare, put that on, heat cycle it 2 to 3 times, and go. Then you can pretty much rip it however you want after that.
So what do I have in here for the stuff? I mean, I got my...
So all the oils and everything are over there. Air filter and oil filter there.
Yeah.
Over here you have your belt. The rest of your... So all your air hoses are over here. The rest of your trail kit's in here. So you got belt, toe strap, tie rod. That white bag is your antenna. This is your axle. This is your electric jack. This is your whips. Obviously your air hoses.
Did I have two axles? Or just one?
I think just one. I only remember
Because
one.
they're different, right? Don't I need 2?
Front to rear.
All right, Dave is the sales manager. He's going to fire it up. So as you look at the build sheets, we did the service at 200 miles, and we run the Gates belt, which is a USA-made belt. If you pay attention to the digital dash and the belt temperature and not exceed 230, you'll be fine. We've never blown a belt or had an issue. There's 3 years remaining on the warranty, and that's a full bumper-to-bumper warranty. We're moving out of these cars as my parents are 80 and 81. They don't want to be in the dust anymore, so we're moving into Broncos. You will not find a better handling UTV stock out of the box or safer. That was the main reason why we moved into these cars. So hopefully something you like.